Hello and welcome back to another episode of El Partido in Directo, the show where we ask you, the fans, to send us match reports, recordings, voice clips, whatever it may be from whatever game of Spanish football you are watching this weekend. And this one is a little bit special. Matt Harrison, who has done many of these indirectos for us with his vast amount of travels across Espana, is going to the OG, as they say. It is the grandfather of Spanish football, the Abuelo, and he is heading over to Huelva to watch Recreativo de Huelva play at this weekend. One of the most fascinating clubs in Spain, nestled on the Atlantic coast in the southwest of Spain, and often sort of forgotten in terms of an entity. But despite that fact, they are the oldest club in Spain. They had football introduced when the Rio Tinto mining company rocked up there to mine copper, I think it was, and was introduced and founded by the Mackay family. But as football does, you know, once it started to grow, Huelva started to sort of like diminish as football established itself in the bigger cities of Seville, Madrid, Barcelona. And yeah, they've kind of been in the shadows ever since. They have had a bit of limelight, to be fair. You know, they did make it to La Liga about almost 20 years ago, I think it was. They've had some cracking players turn out there. They had Santi Cazorla on loan. They've had Florent Cinema Pongol, who is now a world-class foot golfer, for example. But more importantly, this is a club that is absolutely steeped in history. They've got a wonderful fan base. They've sold over 13,000 season tickets this year, and it is definitely somewhere high up on my list to go visit, not just from a football perspective, but from a general curiosity about the culture of Huelva as well. So yes, Matt is lucky enough to be attending this game against Lorca Deportiva down in the Segunda Federacion. And yeah, let's listen to him now and see what he has to say about this wonderful place and the abuelo of Spanish football.
Buenos dias, it is Matt Harrison here, coming to you from Cordoba this morning, although I'm not staying in Cordoba. I've had an hour and a half or so changing trains here, so I've gone into the centre for breakfast. And now I'm about to hop on the train west. I've got my copy of Marca to read with me. I've got the month before issue of Panenka about football shirts. I've still not read, so I've got that in my bag as well. I've listened to the latest episode of El Partido with our friend Luke Chambers of the Costa del Futbol social media account. Go check that out. So, you know, I've engulfed myself this morning in Spanish football content, and arguably the place I'm going today, not arguably at all, I think it's factually, the place I'm going today is where all Spanish football content was born, I guess, because I am going to El Abuelo, El Primero, the grandfather, the first club in Spain, the oldest club in Spain, Recreativo Huelva, which, to be honest with you, there you go, I'm walking past Cordoba's club shop now. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Huelva, Cordoba club shop. To be honest with you, it has pretty much been a place I've wanted to visit since I moved to Spain, really. It's always been one of those things I've had in my head, probably, that they are the first team in Spain, and probably from that time when they're in La Liga, for that, I think it was I'm pretty sure it was one season, I should have checked that, early 2000s, and they got to the cup final, and they had Florent Cinema Pongol. It's sort of one of those facts that stuck in my head, and pretty much since I've lived in Spain, I've wanted to go, and I haven't. I've been through Huelva before, when, as a teacher, we went on a school trip to a sort of campsite nearby to do some outdoor activity stuff, so I did go through the town of Huelva, so nobody has to, as people keep telling me, it's not a pretty place. the word shithole comes up a lot, but I'm always open to defending these places and having my own opinion on it. So I'm really looking forward to visiting the city itself. It's got a strong mining tradition, obviously. I'm from the South Wales Valleys, big mining culture. So maybe these are my people in Andalusia. A very historical place, which perhaps we could talk about when I get there. Some really cool stuff, or interesting stuff, spawns from there. So I'm walking back through the centre of Cordoba, been down to the Mezquita, the Catedral, had breakfast. It's just gone 10 a.m. I might have one more coffee, maybe a cheeky beer, and then hop on the train west to Huelva. So I'll speak to you again when I'm in Huelva. So I'm in Huelva. I'm going to be honest with you, I've only walked sort of down the main street, and it was about sort of 2:30, 3 o'clock, and it seemed quite lively. And I'm going to say I wouldn't say it's a shithole. It seems fairly pleasant so far. I've certainly been to worse places in Spain. Actually, I was trying to think, where is worse than Huelva? Tomorrow's opponent's Lorca. Lorca was a bit of a dive. Nice castle, but a bit of a dive. I'm outside a bar, Leña, which I think means wood or firewood. I'm seeing that's in the back of my mind, because the hotel I'm staying at is very much a sort of, type the code in and get your keys sort of place. I couldn't get the keys, the code wasn't working, so I texted the landlord, and he didn't reply for a bit, so I went and sat in the bar next door, and it turns out he sent me the wrong code. So I'm finishing my large, I can't remember what they called it. It's like a big glass of beer, because obviously different parts of Spain, this is a Rincon Cultural, they always call beer, like the different glasses, different things. I'm sure they said an entero or entera, but I wasn't really paying attention because I was pissed off I couldn't get into the hotel. I'm sitting on, it's very quiet now, as you can probably hear. It's very much Cruz Campo country up here, which again, as long as it's cold, it's cool, and it's in a nice glass, so I don't mind. I know, unpopular opinion amongst many, especially Malaguistas, but hopefully I've got the right codes now, so I'm going to finish this, go in hotel, and then have a shower and wander out. I'm a bit disappointed. The big sort of monument to Christopher Columbus, which looks huge. It's about 5 kilometres away. Can I be asked to walk there? No, not really. Although I did find out the person that designed it, forgive me, I remember her name was, I've remembered it, it's just come to me, Gertrude Whitney. The person that designed it, and sort of, I think it was like opened or finished in the, oh God, I read some of this on the train in the 30s or 40s, but Gertrude Whitney in the 80s was played by Angela Lansbury in a TV show called something like Dear Gloria. So, shout out to Angela Lansbury. If Angela Lansbury's playing you, you've got to be a bit of a don, or a donna. By the way, that's not correct. You don't say donna in Spain. It's Senorita, actually. That's what they say in school, because we have dons and senoritas are the name of the Spanish teachers in school, but she's quite a senorita, although I don't even think she's Spanish, because Gertrude Whitney, I think, is American. I'm rambling on here. Anyway, I'm enjoying my Cruz Campo. It's a really, really hot day here, certainly compared to, obviously I've been on the Costa for the past month after my summer inland. It's definitely back to inland warmth. Yeah, we'll have a bit more of a wander of Huelva once I get in my hotel. So I did get into my hotel. I've showered and stuff. It is early evening here in Huelva. Still people finishing off their lunches as I'm walking towards the... I'm still not really sure, really. Am I walking towards the Atlantic or the River Odiel? But I think there's 2 rivers here, so I can't remember which one I'm walking towards. But my other sort of bit of, I'll drop a bit of history here, because there's a Welsh link here, which I only discovered, I discovered a few years ago, and I'd forgotten about it till about a couple of weeks ago when I decided I was coming here. The man that never was, they made a film about him with Colin Firth and stuff a few years ago, where Operation Mincemeat happened here. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it either, but it's worth talking about, because I was actually going to go. This guy is buried in Huelva, but the cemetery's about 6 kilometres outside, and again, can't be asked to walk out there to see a grave. But the story is that in World War II, obviously, Spain neutral inverted commas, and the British fought, or the Allies fought. They were going to dump a body off the coast of Huelva with some sort of confidential files and stuff on him, and pretend like a plane had crashed in the sea in the Mediterranean. And obviously they were false files, and some fishermen, so they found this dead body back in the UK, put it in a submarine, launched it out into the water in Huelva with these files on him. Fisherman finds it, passes it on to the Spanish authorities, who passes it on to the Nazis, and the files say the Allies are going to invade Sardinia and Greece. But it's all made up. They're not. They're gonna try and take back Sicily, and so all the Nazis go over to Sardinia and Greece, and the Allies have a free run at Sicily. But the Welsh link is, I don't know why I'm saying this with such glee. The Welsh link is that the body, they named him William Martin, Major William Martin. It was just completely made up. There's no such person. But they found this, they needed someone to look like they drowned, and this guy had eaten rat poison in London, and he turned out to be from Aberbargoed in Wales. And not only that, like our greatest hero in Wales, Mr. Wales himself from the many centuries ago, Owain Glyndŵr, this guy was called Glyndŵr. His first name, I've forgotten his second name, I think it's Glyndŵr Michael, it's just come to me, Glyndŵr Michael. So that's a cool little Welsh link. So I thought I'd go and pay a bit of tribute to his grave, but obviously it's just a bit far out of the town to go and see a cemetery. If I had another day here, I probably would have. I'm going to try and make an effort to go to that Christopher Columbus monument tomorrow. I'm going to try and go early, and it's sort of towards the ground. Yeah, that's a cool story, isn't it? So if you're interested in Operation Mincemeat, go watch the 2021 film with Colin Firth, which I've not watched. I remember reading about it, and because I read the guy was Welsh. You know, I say the guy was Welsh. The corpse was Welsh. So shout out to Glyndŵr Michael, who is buried here in Huelva. And to be honest with you, I think a lot of this podcast might be dipping in and out of history as I go towards, again, I think I'm going towards a river, not the sea. Pretty sure it's a river. I did look at this earlier on the map. And still, it's a lovely day here in Huelva. It seems pleasant enough. No qualms here. So apologies if this recording's a bit windy, because I'm on top of the Muelle de Tinto, the sort of Rio Tinto dock, which I suppose is like one of the, if not, like, apart from the Columbus monument, the main, I'd argue this is the main landmark in Huelva. This is where the Rio Tinto mining company made sort of a bridge linking the mines with the Puerto in Huelva to transport all their goods, their silver, their copper. It's like a big pier, basically. There's lots of people on here fishing, a lot of people walking around. But the really cool thing for me is it caught me off guard a little bit. I knew the ground wasn't a million miles from the centre, but as I got across it, you're at the end of the pier, and literally the football stadium's opposite you. So I've got a lovely view right now of the Nuevo Colombino. I asked some lovely Spanish lady to take a photo of me, since she seemed to be doing photography duties for everyone on the pier, it seemed. So I just thought I'd take advantage. Like this is, you know, the guys that built this pier I'm walking on. Those folk, thanks to what's his name? I think his name's Alexander Mackay. It's definitely Mackay. I've definitely got Alexander in my head as well. It's definitely Mackay, Scottish fella. The people that built this pier I'm standing on, or this bridge, I guess, they built Spanish football. So it's really cool, and it's really cool that you can see the stadium across the water. Of course, it's not the original Huelva stadium. It's not, that stadium is not the birthplace of Spanish football. Although I did walk past Columbus's house earlier, and apparently that is where apparently there's always like gardens around. Apparently football did happen there, or certainly it was like they trained there, or they had little kicker bounce there. This is really cool. Apparently this is the place to come tonight for sunset, but I don't know, I sort of stumbled upon it this afternoon, and I was like, well, I'll see if I'm around this area later, I'll come and see sunset here. But I've sort of ticked the box now, haven't I? Yeah, let's go and see some more of Huelva. And of course, this being Andalusia, I've stumbled onto a feria in the main market. It's a feria de tapa, a tapas festival, but I think the tapa seems to be running low, so I've just got beer. Always fun. Like I said, lively little place. So it's now about 9 p.m. I'm on Plaza de las Monjas, which is the main square in Huelva. Verdict's done. Obviously tomorrow I'm going straight to the game. Huelva is brilliant. I love Huelva. Everyone's really nice here. It's cheap. It's cool. It's lively. I don't think it's as ugly as people have made it out to be. I do know I've been through the outskirts and I've seen the industrial outskirts, so maybe it's that. But shout out to Huelva. It's not a place, I'm going to be like sort of saying everyone needs to visit. But like, I don't know, if they're in the same league as Malaga again, and Malaga are playing away here, I'll definitely be looking forward to coming here. Obviously, if you are a Spanish football fan and a Spanish football history buff, I guess it's definitely worth going. Obviously I'm saying this before going to the game tomorrow, but I've loved it here today. It's been really good. I really remarkably lively, more lively than places like Granada and Cordoba from today's experience. There is some sort of feria going on, so maybe it's that, because obviously those two cities are bigger, but it just feels I vida en Huelva. I've really loved it. So shout out to Huelva. I don't think we're going to say anything else. I can have this glass of Ribera and then go find something to eat. So I'll say it again, it's a great little city. Bit out of the way, slightly unconventional, but every bar is full. I cannot emphasize how busy everywhere is. So you keep doing Huelva. Buenos dias. I am currently walking past the home of Recreativo Huelva. Looks beautiful at the moment, because it's about 8:15 in the morning. The sun's not really up yet, so it's sort of in this sort of pinkish sort of haze as the sun rises in the background. It looks very beautiful. My body clock is very much on getting up for work time, so I thought, instead of having a lie in and just staying in bed doing nothing, I'm going to make the sort of 5-kilometre walk to see the statue of Christopher Columbus. It's not something I really planned to do today, but I couldn't get back to sleep, so I thought, well, why not? Walking down by the river. Good night in Huelva last night. I really like Huelva. Back off Huelva, everyone. It's fine. It's really busy last night. It was really sort of everywhere was packed. Even when I was trying to get some food, just in your sort of we say more traditional sort of restaurants, just couldn't get in, so I ended up having a vegetarian smash burger, which was great. This stadium looks brilliant, by the way. It's not something I'd really sort of processed with the stadium, that what was the stadium like, but I'm literally sort of just across the road from it now, looking at it. Nice floodlights, big main stand, and also much closer to the centre than I thought. I thought I was in for a bit of a trek, but it's only about 10-15 minutes from the centre. Well, it's almost like adjacent to the centre, really. So I'm going to go see Christopher Columbus. Why not? Or Cristobal Colon, as they call him here. Bit of a controversial character, really, in Spain and, well, the world. But, when in Huelva and all that. So, I will plod on towards Chrissy C. So it's just gone 9 a.m. The sun is rising behind me across the river. It's a very quiet morning here in Huelva, and I'm below a 37-metre high monument to Christopher Columbus, which is really cool, actually. It's a bit more interesting, certainly more interesting than the one in Barcelona. A bit more a statue, that one. This is a bit more expressionist, I guess. He seems to be have his arms right across. I don't know what's going on there, but it doesn't look like Christopher Columbus, but apparently it is a tribute to Christopher Columbus. Again, it's that Gertrude lady who's played by Angela Lansbury. But yeah, actually, if you're ever in Huelva, it was a lovely walk. It was like it's about a 5k walk down and it's all down the riverside, past quite a lot of I don't know what they're doing, like some sort of industrial estate anyway, with lots of chimneys pumping smoke out, cause Huelva. Lots of docks. It's very pleasant. It looks like it's going to be a very nice day here, because it's already quite warm, and it's 9 a.m. I stopped for a coffee in a some sort of maritime club. There was literally old men in there with like sailor hats on and big beards, so they looked very captainy, sort of Captain Birdseye. I don't know what the Spanish is for Captain Birdseye. Capitan. Yeah, Capitan Birdseye. But yeah, nice. And now I'm going to start walking up towards the ground again. I might even stop back in the Society of Captain Birdseye's to have another coffee, because the game kicks off at midday. So yeah, it's there doesn't seem to be much around the ground, so I don't know where I'm going to get a pre-match beer. I did see lots of tables and chairs out around the ground, though, so I'm hoping there's some sort of place to commune, because it's not a million miles from the centre, but I can't be arsed to walk all the way back in the centre. Well, all the way, just can't be arsed to walk 10 minutes back into the centre. I'd rather there be something nearby. They're a big football club. I'm sure I'll find something. So vamos a Nuevo Colombino. So I'm walking back up the riverside now, and it's beautiful Sunday morning. Actually, it's very nice and relaxing. Doesn't feel like a match day yet, so be interesting to see if there's any sort of atmosphere around the stadium, because, like, again, it's a midday kickoff. I know from Malaga's year in the third division, when we used to have midday kickoffs, it wasn't like the most electric atmosphere around the ground beforehand. And to be fair, we did have quite a good atmosphere because we had a lot of season ticket holders, so interesting to see what it'll be like here. But I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, I do like my football history, and I guess in a way this is the most historic club in Spain. It's the oldest. So like I said, this city is, because it is a city, I think, is sort of defined by its mining industry. The Rio Tinto company that came here over 150 years ago, and it was, I think I read somewhere, it was like the most mined area in the world, and the Rio Tinto company was the biggest, or sort of, what's the word, like the most the big one of the biggest companies in Spain, basically, or the biggest company in Spain. It was the one that made the most money. So it's like a huge deal here, that industry. Well, was at least. Yeah, and obviously like that led to lots of Brits living here. Like I've read like a few things saying that, you know, there's still some families in Huelva that have like very British surnames, because obviously their grandparents or great grandparents, I guess, were miners here. So yeah, the club's founded in 1889. Like, you know, I guess compared to like British clubs, that's not that old, but when you look at like Spanish football clubs, you don't find many 1800s. There's quite a lot of 1900s, but you don't get many 1800s. And well, literally, there's no one older than 1889. But these guys, like, you know, there's always, if you read stuff about Huelva, there's always talk of, you know, football was going on in Huelva before 1889. Obviously, the miners and stuff, and sort of the Spanish being curious about what these Brits were doing, kicking this ball around. Yeah, and like I think there is some dispute, and I think, you know, just from how much people dig into this stuff these days, like some people, I think there is a theory that there's perhaps places in the Basque Country that claim to be older. I think that's been disproven, but, you know, there's always going to be these debates. But yeah, this is the birthplace of football in Spain, as I keep saying. Second, by the way, because obviously if you form a football club, you can't play yourself. The team they played first, because I think they were founded like really, really late in 1889. I've got even very close to Christmas Day, I think, off the top of my head. So the first game they played was against Sevilla, because I think there was even some debate, Sevilla, the oldest club in Spain, but they're not. Yeah, so they played in Sevilla. Again, I keep saying I think. I've read, this is all off the top of my head. I read quite a lot of stuff a few months ago, and I read some stuff this week just to sort of out of curiosity, and I've not reread stuff. But yeah, this is cool. I will say, I keep saying historic. The stadium's very new, early 2000s. I think pretty much it was built like around the time they got back in the top flight. And like I said, they got to the cup final in, it's either 2002 or 2003. They lost to Mallorca. Weirdly, the final's in Elche. I guess if you're gonna, a Mallorca Recreativo de Huelva final is not, I suppose it's not gonna attract the masses, you know. But Elche is a big stadium, really interesting stadium actually. Yeah, walking by some factories now. There's a big ship to my left that looks very industrial. Everything's looking very industrial at the moment. There's a lot of people running, a lot of people cycling. Yeah, hopefully you can find something by the ground. I think I've got about a half-hour walk in front of me. That's fine. It is, as I keep saying, a lovely morning. I like Huelva. Vamos Huelva. So I did find somewhere to drink. There is literally 2 bars below the main stand, which is amazing. And they're selling Victoria, and in quite big plastic cups for €2. What a place. So I'm sitting here outside. You can hear the Spanish music in the background. I've got a view of the river across the road. I've bought a scarf. I don't usually buy scarves at grounds I go to, but I figured historical and all that. Some old fella with Carlos 15 on his back's just given me a sweet. He's gone around every table giving sweets, sort of like, I don't know, the Evertonian toffee lady, I guess. And now he's walking about. He's giving everyone sweets, bless him. What a lovely guy. Shout out to Carlos. Ground looks brilliant. Really does look brilliant. So I'm really looking forward to getting in there. It's just over an hour till kick-off. Yeah, vamos Recreativo. So we're half an hour from kick-off now, and this is something I've never seen in Spanish football, and they're everywhere. I don't know where they're coming from, but they are. Everyone seems to have one. They seem to have programs here. I've never seen them before. Or a very, very, very popular fanzine, if it's not a programme. Decano Mania, I noticed it's called. I've not seen any. I don't really have that much cash on me, so if I do see one, I'm probably not going to buy one. But everyone's reading them, so fair play. It's definitely the most successful fanzine I've ever seen in Spanish football. Or these guys have programs. You know, they are pioneers in many, many ways. But wow, I've never seen it before. Literally anywhere in Spain. I'm quite curious to know if anyone else knows of. Because even like fanzines, you don't see. I'm literally like everyone is holding one. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm literally like, obviously it's half hour before kickoffs. Lots of people walking towards the turnstiles now. Everyone's got one scrolled up in their hand. Wow, nice one, Huelva. To be honest with you, like even when I was in the UK, and I know lots of ground hoppers are quite big on getting programs. I was never really that arsed. But still, really cool. So having one more beer, as you probably just hear from my sip there. So got a bottle of Victoria, because I've gone to the more expensive bar. There's 2 bars underneath the ground, amazing. I've gone to the slightly more expensive one because the queue for the cheaper one got quite big. And like I said, half hour till kick-off. What a ground. Looks amazing from outside. I really like it. Yeah, really looking forward to getting in there. Vamos. So, I'm in the Fondo Sur now. I'm in the ground. I probably say this quite a lot, and I go, wow, this place is really cool and this is great. But what a ground. It's brilliant. It's everything I love about a football ground. It's got a big main stand, really open sort of stands around it. It feels quite big, but it's sort of quite on top as well. 2 bars below the ground, below the main stand. It's beautiful. It's really, really good. Like generally, I've just been thinking about like all the places I went to watch Malaga in the 3rd tier, and obviously Malaga played here, and sadly I couldn't come because it was on a Sunday night. But this is one of the best, like, if not the best lower league ground I've been to in Spain. It should not be a lower league ground. Obviously this has hosted top flight football. It's brilliant. I can't put it. Yeah, it's just brilliant. I just love it. I love it. So I'm hoping the game is good as well. Yeah, I can just keep saying it's brilliant. Great floodlights, big stand, open. Perfect Spanish football ground, perfect. So the teams are out on the pitch now. Huelva in their blue and white. Lorca in a sort of burgundy colour, which I suppose is quite relevant to a podcast I did with El Partido's founder, Nick Bell, this week. I don't think I'm allowed to say who the guest is yet, but we did talk about with our special guest, because I co-hosted a burgundy claret club. Oh my God, the mascot is literally a granddad. There's literally an old man with a big... What? Sorry, I can't get my... There is literally a mascot who is just a granddad with a big granddad head, white hair, glasses. Amazing. Their mascot is a granddad. So, yeah, the thing I'm saying about the claret thing, listen to the podcast this week, because we do talk about a Spanish... Oh, God. I've been thrown off by the granddad. What was I saying? That's a bizarre mascot, but I love it. He's literally an abuelo. By the way, this hymno's shit, isn't it? Really fucking bland hymno. Can't say there's many people singing it anyway, but yeah, we're about to kick off. Yeah, the claret thing. Lorca, they were in claret. There is a reference to Lorca on the latest El Partido, which might be out by the time you listen to this. And I'm trying to, how am I wording this? There is a link between Lorca and the person we spoke about on El Partido. I'll just say it now. It's Unai Emery. Unai Emery's first ever managerial job was with Lorca. He retired at Lorca, and that's where he started. But yeah, we've just kicked off. I just can't take my eyes off the Grandad mascot. It's the weirdest mascot I've seen in Spain since that weird letterbox I saw in Algeciras. But yeah, we're underway. Vamos, Huelva. It is 1-0 to Recreativo Huelva within 10 or 11 minutes as Lorca almost scored. Simple cross across the box and just sort of tapped in. I got more excited by when everyone jumped up to celebrate. There's a guy about 5 rows in front of me that has Cinema P on the back of his sort of burgundy shirt. I should say, by the way, just to be clear, I wasn't sure because I didn't feel very clear. Unai Emery is not in El Partido this week. We spoke about Unai Emery with a guest, and I should say I kept saying burgundy for Lorca. It's very Roma-y. I think that's burgundy, but it's very much a Roma burgundy gold combo. It's very nice, actually. You know, Roma shirts are always amazing. So, and there's not many clubs with that colour, so it's always quite cool to see. But yeah, 1-0 here. I'm just having a lovely time, to be honest with you. So it is half time here at Estadio Colombino. It is still 1-0 to the home team. Not a particularly eventful first half. It was okay. Could have put it out there though. Number 21 for Lorca. He's wearing 21. I love David Silva. He's playing number 10 in that sort of role anyway. He looks really good. He's only 19. I sort of googled him. His name's Adrian Heredia. So I'm just going to make a note of that because I really enjoyed watching him. Certainly for the first 20 minutes. Went a bit quiet the second part. Also, we need to mention Lorca. They do have a centre-back called Saturday. That's fun on a Sunday. Nigerian, seemed to have played for Cadiz, his B team, for quite a long time and been around the lower leagues of Spain. And also, their number 20 up front. His name is Willie. We're all a big fan. We're all big fans of Willie, etc. He's not really done much, but not really much to talk about aside from funny names. There is a guy he's standing right next to me now, that Florence in my Pongal shirt's amazing. Again, no, great place to watch football. Vamos Recreativo. Willie has penetrated through. It's 1-1. He was really, I think he might have got booked in the end. He really celebrated in front of the sort of Huelva Ultras in the corner over there. I don't know if he was getting shit. I looked at his career, couldn't see any link to a rival club or if he'd played for Huelva. But yes, Willie smashed it. And Huelva have just had a brilliant chance. What a save by Lorca's goalie. It's heated up. By the way, Willie's goal was great. It was I'm trying to think of more Willie puns. I'm struggling. A long ranger from Willie just sort of flew in the corner. Willie tucked it away. I don't know. It's livened up a bit since that. We've got just about 25 minutes left, or just over 25 minutes. It is 2-1 to Recreativo Huelva after what I'm going to say is just seemed a bit of a mad penalty to me. Lorca's centre-back had all the time in the world with the ball, got a bit of pressure, was still in control of the ball, mistouched it a bit, put his hand out and just sort of hit the guy pressuring him in the face with flicked him tiny, and the guy made a meal of it, went down, got a penalty, and former Malaguista and Huelva through again. It's got a bit. Former Malaguista Kaya Quintana what a save from the goalie from the penalty. He tipped it onto the bar, and then the ball rolled across the line, and Kai Quintana ran in to tap it in. This game's really livened up now. Really good fun. Is 20-ish minutes to go. Nice to see Kai Quintana score. I always quite liked him at Malaga. Not everyone did, but a grafter. What a save from the goalie for the penalty. He sort of was really low and tipped it onto the bar. It was really a shame he didn't quite get it over for him, really. The goalie seems quite good, actually. I need to... there's a corner to Huelva now, so I'll just keep recording just in case something happens. In the centre, and Lorca clear, and we're back out. And there you go, it finishes 2-1, just leaving the stadium. Now, what a stadium. That's the real winner of this match day. It was okay the second half. There's that sort of fun 10-15 minutes in the middle, but fair play to Recreativo. They sort of just knew how to play it out once they were 2-1 up, and bit of time wasted, nothing too mischievous. Quite fittingly, I still don't understand the beef, but Willie turned out to be a bit of a wanker, which is quite funny. There's a bit of a panto villain, which was still don't understand quite what the thing was with him, but he did celebrate really, really madly in front of the sort of hardcore fans, but fairly decent game. Nothing to really, really write home about, but not. I suppose in a way it was it's quite sort of the endurance part that came from it is very hot here. Must be well over 30, and there's not much cover there. So sometimes I don't know if the game's not absolutely electric, that heat can weigh you down a bit, so maybe that played a part. But like I said, with my I wear a lot of hats, but with my groundhopper hat on, awesome place to watch football. Can't praise that ground enough. I might go and try and get one more beer in the bar below the stand now. It's open. Vamos Huelva. So, that's me done in Huelva. I am back in Marbella now. It's Monday. Quite tired. It was... I didn't really stop in Huelva, actually. After I got there, I went straight out, explored. There was, plenty of stuff to explore for a small city, and obviously I didn't even go around some of the neighbouring places outside of Huelva, which I hear very good things about. I really enjoyed Huelva. Back off Huelva, as I said in the thing. It's a nice enough city. I think it's definitely a day visit place. I would even argue maybe I think I probably got it right with having a sort of day there. It was quite nice and relaxing, but also, I was there with a farrier, so as I said, it was very lively and real sort of bouncing there on that Saturday, which I loved. Nice early game Sunday, and I was home by just after midnight in Marbella. There was a couple of little train delays, but navigated my way through. After the game, I went back to the main square and found some craft beer place, which I had noticed the night before. I'm not very good at craft beer anymore. Still, I used to be such a beer snob, and now I just want your bog standard lager, but it was fine. And then I went to the Irish pub, which I was sort of not very Irishy, to watch Sevilla smash Barcelona 4-1, which everyone was very happy about, because obviously in Huelva you're not that far from Sevilla. But I got back. Obviously the highlight was the football club itself, I guess, and finally ticking that box of going there. Stadium was amazing, very close to the centre, as again you can walk it, it's 10-15 minutes, right down by the seafront, or the river side, sorry. 2 bars underneath, so definitely go there. It was a nice atmosphere. I never did find out where those fanzines or programs came from, but everyone was reading them in the ground too. The game was fine. It sort of kept me entertained enough without it being a classic. Not much atmosphere if I had to put a black mark against it, but it was early on a Sunday morning. Well, technically it just ticked over into the afternoon, and like I said, it was like a ferrier in town. It was very hot in there. There was not much protection apart from that big stand. So yeah, I won't criticise. And obviously, I don't even know if I mentioned they're in the fourth division at the moment in Segunda Federacion. So yeah, really enjoyed it. Definitely go and check out Huelva if you like good football grounds and your Spanish football history. It has to be done. So as everyone, I don't know how many people have messaged me this or before, after, during. So I will finish with the really shit joke everyone's made repeatedly over the past few days to me. I had a Huelva time in Huelva this weekend. Adios. Vamos Huelva.
Thank you, Senor Matt Harrison. What a trip that sounds like. It's absolutely brilliant. Obviously, a great result for Recreativo de Huelva there, 2-1 against Lorca Deportiva. Kai Quintana on the double, and I'm sure when we were watching him against Malaga, we weren't too happy that he came back to score a goal against us, but seeing him become a bit of a hero down in the southwest of Spain for the club in the last few years, it is very good to hear a Malaguista do well down there. From a perspective on Recre, obviously doing quite well this season. It is early doors, but another great result there to keep them in the chase for that top spot. The Segunda Federacion is a bit of a mad hat in terms of league. It's 5 leagues and 2 teams get promoted from each league into the Primera Federacion. So it is a huge gamble from their perspective, and some massive clubs in amongst their league as well. With Club Deportivo Extremadura, you've got Real Jaén, you've got Linares Deportivo, so some absolutely brilliant clubs in this league as well. But would I like to see Recreativo de Huelva back in the upper echelons of Spanish football? Absolutely, I would as well. If you are attending a game of football in Spain in the near future and fancy sending us a match report as well, then do not hesitate to reach out to us through social media. Let us know where you're going to, and we will send you the email address to send any clips, recordings or voice notes to, and we will package them together and put them out on El Partido for everybody to listen to. But for now, I'll say thank you once again to Matt, as always, for sending these clips across, and we hope you have a fantastic week.